started this 2 years ago. So this year, Tracy Benisi, who is our Assistant Community Development Director, had the great idea to ask Stephanie Gregg to be the sponsor. And Stephanie has taken it and run with it, and it has been amazing. It's been like the best year ever, and I'm going to let her talk about it, what all she's done with them.
Well, we had an application process, and they wrote some essays, and we had 3 outside community members to read those for us, and we came up with some ward leaders, and they have committees, and we have 21 total members, and they came up with their own projects and that they presented to the board, and all 3 of those projects have been approved, and 1 has already been implemented, and we've just had a great year.
Yeah, and these are very innovative and smart and fabulous young people that are just really want to be involved. It's really motivated me, even as a alderman, like to do more, because they are just so motivated and really want to see change.
Right.
And the funny, when I got into government, I learned that things are a lot slower than you want them to be. So we've had to explain to the students, and Stephanie's done a great job of telling them, you're not going to always see the fruits of your labor, but you've planted some seeds, and so you will see it in a few years, or when you come back, you'll see it. And I really am proud of them, because they hold us accountable. I mean, they want answers.
Right.
They want to know what's happening, and they want to know. And I love that, because that's what we need as leaders. We need to be held accountable, and so I love that about the students.
They don't let you forget.
Oh no. And so some of them are graduating.
Yes,
Stephanie
they are.
had the great idea to do cords for their graduation, so we ordered those, and we're providing those. The city's going to provide cords for them to represent their red, white, and blue, to represent their involvement in government. So they'll be wearing those on graduation.
Yes.
And then today we have, this just happened at the last minute. Clay Hardy messaged me and said, who's the sponsor for junior alderman? He thought Delbert Hosemann was coming through town today, and he thought it'd be a great idea for him to meet with the students. And Stephanie arranged it really quickly, got it together, and so we're able to do that today. And we're excited about him being here to meet with them and talk about government in Mississippi.
And they're going to have some great questions for him.
Yes, Stephanie got them ready to ask questions, so that's going to be great.
And the race went on the same day we raced, and the race started about 200 miles. They dropped us off 50 miles, which made us 150 miles ahead, thank goodness, because they were a bit faster than I was. And so we raced in, 12 of us. 2 of them were from South Africa, a couple were from Australia, 3 or 4 of our guys from the United States, a couple of brokers from Hong Kong. We're all in this little group, and we got to race just like they did, in little lines and all, like just waving through the towns and whatnot. It's real exciting. So you've got an asset here, you know, to have that trailhead is an asset. You also got a really great town, actually. If you look around at what's working here and what's not working here, y'all have done really well. School's doing really well. Have an A school, you're blessed. Not all of Mississippi has the same opportunities you have. So let me tell you about what I do. Grew up in Vicksburg. Decided to go out of state, so I went to the University of Notre Dame. The first time I ever saw Notre Dame was when they dropped me off at the front door. Because we didn't travel around like y'all, and we didn't have internets and all like this, and I had just read about Notre Dame. I thought it'd be a great place to go. It was. So I showed up there, and about the 3rd or 4th week I was there, it started snowing. It's cold. It's in way northern Indiana, and I thought, boy, I made a horrible mistake. And then I come to find out you can't have a car till you were a senior. Notre Dame, you couldn't have a car till you were a senior. You had hours. You had to be in at 10:30 on the night, and at midnight you had to be in at midnight on Saturday night. There were no girls allowed women allowed at the University of Notre Dame. So there were no cars, no way to get a date, and it was cold. I'm not so sure that was my best decision, but in any event, it turned out great. And we loved being at the university and got a phenomenal education. Came back, went to Ole Miss Law School in the New York University in New York City for a Master's of Laws in Taxation. So I stayed in school as long as I could without working. So it was a long time. Came back, started practicing law, practiced law for 30 years, and then got elected for 12 years as Secretary of State. Now, what we do is at the Secretary of State's office, and I want y'all to have some time to ask some questions. We do the things that you would think we do, and oftentimes much more. When I came, we took all paper to start a corporation or a limited liability company or securities and everything. They were all done on paper. I've changed that completely. We now have about 700,000 documents that I take all electronically. Don't take any paper anymore. We're the most automated Secretary of State. And with that came some things that you will face when you get out of here.
We are so excited to have with us today Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann, and he is running for Lieutenant Governor. So we are just ecstatic that he decided to come and talk with us at the Hill Country Network. Well, I'm all about promoting a positive Mississippi and wanting our kids to know all about Mississippi and loving Mississippi, learning more about it. So how we want to keep our millennials and all of the kids here instead of thinking they have to go somewhere else. You ask the millennials, they think we don't have adequate jobs. They think we don't have the right kind of economic system. So tell us how you're going to try to change that where they don't feel like that they feel like they have competitive rates for jobs and things.
We're knocking that myth down a little bit at a time. First of all, you'll see all of our incentives programs going what I call 25 to 250. 25 employees to 250. That's our wheelhouse for Mississippi. That's what'll grow.
Okay.
You got a 20-person or a 30-person company and it grows to 35 or 40. That really didn't cost me anything, you know, to do that. I didn't have to pay for jobs and whatnot. Like New York City paid $3 billion for Google and then they kicked them out. But you know, you go back and I think small business growth is important. I have been emphasizing that. We need an educated workforce and the growth of small business. So yesterday, Mississippi was named the #1 state for the growth of small business by Amazon.
Okay, I've heard that. Yeah,
I know. And so
we're #1.
I know. So what we want to do